Welcome back to the Rich Life with Jules, the podcast where we talk all things health, fitness, business, and mindset to get you out of your own way and into building your rich life. So, today's topic is kind of based around business and career, but the same thing will apply to your health and fitness journey. And what I want you to think about is the goal that you are chasing, where you're trying to get to, the thing that you are working for. Why do you want it? What is going to happen when you get to that goal? The reason I'm saying this is around career and around business building is because a lot of people build their businesses and focus their careers on making money, which that is the whole point of having a job, and it is the whole point of a business is to make money. But how much money? And is the money still important to you? So we're going to need to assume that there's a level that, yeah, everybody needs to have enough money to feel financially secure and to live on, pay their bills and go about life, right? So that's an assumption. But once you've got to that level, is that still driving you? Or are you hanging on to an old goal that you used to have when you started your business and the business made £500 a month and you had this financial goal, which all businesses need to operate on effective finances, but are you still hanging on to that old goal? So now that you're making enough money to live a what Holly from Not on the High Street calls a good life business, you're making enough that you feel good with your finances, you're making enough money, the business is turning over a good amount, it's paying you a good salary. Are you still chasing revenue and money? Is that still your defining measure of success? For me, that used to be my big goal with business, to build the business as big as I could get. And when I had my first studio, I had 5 staff. I had multiple different rooms in the studio operating at one time. We offered lots of different services. And at that point, like 8 years ago, I was like, well, we could have another studio. And how do I make this bigger? And could I franchise this? And it was all about growing the business as big as possible because I wanted to grow the business to a point that it operated without me and that I could sell it. That was my goal. That could not be further from my goal now. Now that the business makes enough money to provide my, in air quotes, good life, where I'm not stressed about money, it's paying me a decent salary, the business works well, money is no longer my driver because I've got, in my eyes, enough. So I'm like, well, what is it that's important to me? And this is what I want you to think about is what is it you value? What are your key values? Absolutely. Everybody's key value is having enough money to live on and having enough money to not be stressed about money and feel financially secure. So we're going to assume that across the board. It's like health. Everybody wants to be healthy. But over and above that, what is it you value? For me, it is freedom. Can't get these words out. Freedom, flexibility, and time. Time is so much higher on my list of values than money. I mean, dramatically higher. And the way to identify this is to think, what are my key values? Look back over the last couple of years and look at key moments. When were you at your happiest, most fulfilled, most buzzing, most energetic? When did you feel in the last couple of years, this is the good life, this is the rich life? What makes you feel like that? For me, it's not 500 or £1,000 in revenue that makes me feel that way. It is time with people. It is not having to be at my desk at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning and being out with Cookie instead. Not having to rush Cookie's morning walk because I'm stressed about getting on a Zoom meeting or getting to my desk or being time bound with a calendar full of calls. That to me is not rich life. In fact, that is a point of frustration for me. And that's also another way to identify your values. If something is causing you frustration and it's annoying you and that feeling of this just does not sit right with me, then it is probably misaligned with your values. That is something that's going against your values. So think of these two situations. What in the last couple of years, last 2, 3 years, at what point have you felt, this is the life? And I know, like, sitting on a sun lounger in holiday with a pina colada, everybody's like, ah, this is the life. But maybe that is one of your values, is more holidays. For some people, it won't be. And this is the thing about values. They are very, very, very personal. And because something is value high to you, it might be extremely low on someone else's values. And see if money and more revenue and building a huge, scalable, large business, if that, when you look back at it, you're like, ah, yeah, good life, that's okay. And I think this is a big mistake that a lot of women make, is thinking that, oh no, no, money can't be high on my values. Yes, it can. It's just not high on my, Jules, personal values anymore. Used to be, but my life has changed. And that's why money doesn't rank as highly on my values as it used to. See if money and amassing wealth ranks highly on your values. That's perfectly all right. You're allowed to want to make a lot of money. And loads of people have got different reasons for wanting to make money or not. And everybody's got a very different relationship to money. I personally have zero scarcity around money. It's just not something I'm like, oh, what if I run out of money? The way I look at it, and my relationship with money is that, oh, I'll just, I don't know, start a new business, do more hours, think of a new product. I'll just make more, because my evidence of my, how long have I been working? Wow, 30 years since I was 16. Whew, it's a lot of time to be working. So over the 30 years that I have been gainfully employed and ran businesses, I've always just made more money if I need it. So money is not something that I have got a scarcity mindset around. Time is something I have got a huge scarcity mindset around. I'm like, what happens if we die tomorrow? And I think about this a lot. And I think about not wasting time, not missing opportunities with people. And very much at the forefront of my mind is tomorrow's not promised. What if this week is your last week on earth? Are you living it how you want to live it? Other people don't think like that. But other people will think, oh no, what if I run out of money, and they'll be in a panic about it. Money ranks higher for them than it does for me. Time doesn't rank as high. So everybody's going to have a different set of values and a different set of drivers. So what I want you to think about is the times in the last couple of years that you were like, ah, yes, box ticked, good life, rich life, I'm buzzing. If I could have whole weeks and months and days of this, I would be living the dream. What was happening in those times? What were you embodying? What were you living in those times? They're the things that rank highly on your values. And think about the times that you're like, this is just going against my grain. What was happening then? Because that's the things that are against your values, and that's the things you want to avoid. And you want to lean more towards the, good life, rich life things. So identifying what it is you value and what's important to you, what lights you up and what ticks your boxes personally, is going to help you with chasing your goals. Very often, people are chasing goals because it's always been their goal. And this is so common with women in their 40s who are chasing weight loss goals. They're chasing them because they've been chasing them for 30 years. And it's just, that's always the goal. The goal is just always weight loss. It's just always lose 5 pounds, lose 10 pounds, lose 15 pounds. And actually, one of the reasons they struggle with weight loss is they don't really care anymore. They're much more concerned with their health, the fact they've got back pain, moving well. Everybody's talking about muscle loss in your 40s. Everybody's talking about bone loss in your 40s. So they're much more concerned and much more focused on health, fitness, strength, moving well, feeling better, not having back pain. Weight loss doesn't tick that box. It doesn't achieve that goal. And this is why a lot of people are struggling with their goals, is they're chasing old goals. Are you chasing an old goal? The thing that you are chasing and the thing that you are working towards and the thing that you are taking all of the actions for, do you still want that outcome? So whatever it is you're doing and whatever goal it is you're chasing, ask yourself why. What is it you're going to get from this? Like, let's take, if you're chasing a revenue goal with money, try to build the business bigger, bring in more revenue. For what? What is it you want from it? Like, if I did that now and wanted to double my revenue on my business, it's going to take me much more time. So I'm going to have double the amount of money. That kind of doesn't mean anything because I'm trying to stop buy things. Like, I don't want things in my house. I'm trying to live like a minimalist life because it feels much better for me. I hate clutter. I hate stuff. Just the more minimal my house is, the better I feel, right? So I don't need money for things. I don't like fancy cars. I'm not massive on home decor. This money doesn't mean anything to me. So I could double my revenue and I've got double the amount of something that doesn't mean anything to me, but I've got way less time, which is so important to me. So if I was chasing a revenue goal, I'm pushing towards something that actually doesn't tick my boxes, that doesn't light me up, that doesn't build my rich life. The same with a lot of people chasing those weight loss goals. What is it you want? What do you want the outcome to be at the end of this goal? What is this goal, chasing this goal and these actions, what is it going to give you? And if it's going to give you a body that is £10 lighter, is that what you want? Because if it is, absolutely fine, crack on. But is that what you want? And I think a lot of people are forgetting what it is they actually want and actually what does it take to get there. So take a bit of time today, reassess your goals, look at your goal and ask yourself, is this in line with my values? Identifying your values by the things that light you up and the things that just go against the grain. Is this goal still what you want? What outcome will this give you? What will be different in your life if you achieve this goal? Is that outcome something you actually want and something that you actually value? And I think not enough people are taking time to look at their goals and reassess why they're doing things. Is this still a goal you want to be chasing? And see if it's not, that's perfectly okay. I used to want to have multiple studios with loads of staff and for everybody to know where it was and loads of people to be coming and going for it to be super busy. Absolutely nowhere near my goals now. I want to have plenty of time to go out with my dog. I want to read my Kindle. I want to meet pals for coffee. And I feel, for me personally, I can always make more money, but I cannot make more time. So I am very, very careful with what I do with my time and how I spend my time. And I want freedom and flexibility and control over my time more than I want more revenue. So for me, the goal is not about building the business in terms of size or revenue. It's building the business where I have got enough money to live and be happy and feel secure while taking as much time back for me. It is, for me, make a wee bit more, work a wee bit less. And that sits well with my values. That ticks all the boxes. That does not go against the grain for me. Similar with weight loss. Sure, I want to lose a bit of weight, but it's more important to me to be able to do a pull up and be able to do a handstand. So actually, if I just chase that weight loss goal, that is not the outcome that I want. So have a wee think about it. What is the big goal you're chasing? Do you still want it? And why do you want it? If you want to have a wee chat about your goals and your values, you can reach out to me at The Rich Life with Jules.